Okay, y'all have been watching me talk, and you haven't heard a thing I said. I just noticed I didn't have any audio on this thing, so now we're back. So we're starting again. Hold on just a moment. Okay, small technical difficulty there. We're back for the 27th of September edition of the Coffee Club, the internet voice of commonsenseconversation.com. The Coffee Club's a show that it comes on every Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock, except for the last two Tuesdays, of course. If y'all came by, you noticed it wasn't there. Technical difficulties. I was asking a computer to do way more than it was designed to do and had to put together another box, get back on the air. But we are back, and technical difficulties won't be keeping us down now. If you're new to the Coffee Club, the purpose of this show is to piss you off. It's to make you so mad at the government and the things they do that you'll get on the phone, you'll call your senators, you'll call your representative, you'll call your Congress critters, and you'll let them know what they're doing wrong and what you expect of them. Most people that watch this show, what they expect of them is very simple. We want our Congress critters to do two things. We want them to live by the pledge they took when they took office, to support and uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. We expect them to do what the Constitution says. If it's not constitutional, the government shouldn't do it. The federal government shouldn't do it. The other thing this show the other thing we expect out of our Congress critters is to hold other Congress critters and the President of the United States, hold their feet to the fire on the same issue. Now, sometimes we go local, and we'll talk about states abusing their power. They have a lot of power. The 10th Amendment gives the states a lot of power. Unfortunately, most states do exactly the same thing as the federal government. They abuse their power. Quite often they abuse their power because the federal government tells them to. And while the states have the right to tell the federal government to go to hell, when the federal government says, we want you to do this and here's a little bit of money that goes along with it, states just, they're greedy. What they get out of you isn't enough. They'll take that handout from the federal government and be a lapdog of the feds. The FDA and the USDA are especially good at that. Anyway, for newbies to the show, look over there in the right-hand sidebar of commonsenseconversation.com. Use that little widget. Put in your address, click submit, and it'll tell you who your Congress critters are. Tell you who your representative is. It'll tell you who your two senators are. It'll give you their street addresses, their phone numbers, their email addresses. It'll tell you how you can get in contact with them. Do it. Call them. Send them emails daily. My representative's office hears from me no less than every other day, usually more. I've got 1 hour every day, every morning set aside to send emails to my Congress critters. Make sure they understand somebody's keeping an eye on them. We're going to be back in just a minute. Be back in about 15 seconds. We're going to hit on President Obama today. I've decided, I've reached the point where I truly believe President Obama has done things that are so egregious that they are justification for his removal from office. So this week, I'm going to ask that you call your representatives and ask them to make a case for impeachment of Obama. We're going to talk about that as soon as we come back. Talk to you in just a minute.
Hi folks, this is Justin from Catharsis of the Vogue blog at justinsbrainpan.com. Join me for an eclectic commentary on everything from kidney failure to fiction writing, all at justinsbrainpan.com. Hi folks, this is...
Okay. For that little break, I said that I had reached the conclusion that there's justification for impeachment of Obama, that he needs to be removed from office. I'm going to give you a few examples, and there are more. Do a little Google search on the internet and you can find a whole lot more. And understand, I'm not going to call for his impeachment based on rumors, innuendo. I'm not going to call for his impeachment based on things he's doing that are wrong and against the American way, but that are perfectly legal. We're going to talk about specific things he's done that violate his oath of office, and I believe rise to the level of high crimes and misdemeanors, the constitutional standard for impeachment. So we're not going to talk about his damn birth certificate, okay? For any birthers out there, go right ahead. I don't know if he was born in the United States or not. Frankly, I don't give a damn. Why don't I care? Well, because all this vetting of Obama about whether or not he is a citizen should have been done, say sometime before Election Day 2008. Because now he is in office, and you can prove that he's not qualified. And by the time you jump through all your legal hoops to get him thrown out, 2012 election will have already rolled around, and he'll be gone. Because no matter what happens between now and 2012, if he's a candidate for president, he will not be reelected. I don't care what his Democratic Party sycophants want to say. He's toast on an election. But there are other things besides elections. Hold on just a moment. But there are other things besides elections to pay attention to. I think Obama's taking this road down a path of destruction of the American ideals, that we may well be too far along by 2012. He's got to be gone now. He's got to be made so ineffective he can do absolutely nothing as soon as possible. And then he needs to be impeached and removed from office before he can do even more damage. That's why I don't care about the birther argument. It'd take too long to do anything. By the time it went through the courts with the money he'd spend on lawyers, we're going to be 2015, 2020 before we know if he's legal. So we'll ignore that little thing. We're not going to talk about the fact that he plays golf an average of every 3 days or 2 days or 5 days. I really don't give a damn there. We're not going to talk about his vacations, except for one little part of them. If he wants to take a vacation, fine. Fact is, if Air Force One is within reach of him, he has got a White House and he can be the president. That plane's got more damn electronic communications gear on it. It is a flying White House. So, if he's close to Air Force One, he's still in charge, unfortunately. So we aren't going to talk about his vacations, except for the money that's spent, the tax money that is spent on his little jaunts. So we're going to leave that sort of thing alone. I'm not going to talk about the fact that he runs around the world apologizing for the United States constantly. Folks, the United States has not a damn thing to apologize for around the world or in the United Nations. The United States has done nothing for a couple hundred years, but assist other countries. We're building schools, roads, hospitals in Afghanistan and Iraq when the schools, roads, and hospitals in the United States are falling apart. We have gone in and kicked dictators out. Whether we should have or not is another issue. That's for another show. We have been the world's policemen. We have given up our sons' lives in places like Somalia, Iraq, Afghanistan, the Balkans, helping other people. And we don't pick sides. We try not. I truly believe we try not to pick sides. Try being the key word here. We're defending Christian democracy in the Middle East right now against Muslims. In the Balkans, we defended Muslims against Christians. We defend oppressed people from oppressive people. Don't give me any crap about American imperialism and colonialism. We're not an imperial and colonial government. We never have been. We gave up hundreds of thousands of our sons' lives in World War II. We kicked the Germans out of Europe. We gave France back to France. We kept Britain from being overrun. Italy became Italy again under Italian rule. What did we ask? We've got a few air bases there and army bases that we pay rent for. We didn't take anything. The only thing we've asked of any foreign country when we've gone in to help it is for a small piece of land to bury our dead. We don't annex countries. We don't take countries over. We help countries. So don't give me any crap about that. We're not going to, and I'm not even going to talk about Iraq and Afghanistan, because while I disagree with Obama's policies, those don't rise to the level of impeachable offenses either. So if I'm not going to talk about all that, what do I think does constitute impeachable offenses? Well, we'll talk about that as soon as we get back from a word from one of our sponsors.
So let me get right to the point. If you want to learn 3D or programming, AI or design, head over to my site, shadesofadream.com.
Well, we're back, folks. So just exactly why should Obama be impeached? Well, let's look at a few of his actions. We're going to start with the one that's been in the news big time lately. Solyndra, the green energy company. Obama stood at the front of the Solyndra factory a few months back. Well, actually, roughly a year back. I believe it was March, April last year. Bragging about this company that was a leader in the green energy field. That it was such a leader and that it was so important that we would give it over $500 million. $535 million loan. Stop and think about that figure, people. What does $535 million mean in our economy? Well, at $1 million apiece, you could build 535 schools in this country. At $100 million apiece, you could build over 5 hospitals. Instead, we gave the money, loaned the money, gave the money, might as well be, to Solyndra in California, so Obama could have him a good photo op. So he could stand there and look like he was pushing for alternative energy. So he could stand there and kiss the butts of the environmentalists who want energy sources